For most of you growing up in the 70s, you probably didn't think of that as a spiritual song,
No.
but it is.
He said he had several girls on his mind.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute.
Right?
Because nothing happens by accident. And for those of you that didn't grow up in the 70s, in your musical historical studies, you will find this is a pretty important song. We'll get into that too. However, for myself, it got me through a lot of night shifts at the Market Basket store, where you usually went in tired, and were tired the whole time you were there, and were certainly tired when you got out in the morning because it was a long, long night. But the lyrics of this song condensed down into something like 3.5 minutes, what I'll probably spend the next 20 minutes telling you about. And it's one of the things I love about the arts is that they are able to take these vast concepts which we spend a lifetime studying and trying to understand and condense it down to a simple nugget that if we are aware, if we are searching, we will see it, we will hear it, we will find the message in these most unusual presentations. The song begins with the lyric, "Well, I'm a-running down the road trying to loosen my load. I've got 7 women on my mind." Well, right away we see that our character here is running from something. Have you ever found yourself running
All the time.
from something?
All the time. Oh, yeah.
Trying to get away from a responsibility or a problem that just doesn't seem to have a solution?
Yeah.
Well, who are these 7 women that he has on his mind? Now, I definitely had a different picture of those 7 women when I was 20, but I'm not 20 anymore. And I have evolved spiritually. So I have recognized that in the Bible, 7 is the number of completeness and perfection, both physical and spiritual in the metaphysical interpretation. It derives much of its meaning from being tied directly to God's creation of all things. There are 7 days in the week. The week is complete with 7 days. And God's Sabbath day is that 7th day. The Bible as a whole was originally divided into 7 major divisions. I will not bore you with what they are. Trust me, there were 7. The total number of originally inspired books was 49. And those of you who remember your elementary school math, 7 times 7 is 49. The square root of 49 is 7. Demonstrating the absolute perfection of the Word of God. So the number 7, not necessarily a random selection. It fits well with the tune, but it also has a deep spiritual meaning. He claims that 4 of these women want to own him. The number 4 derives its meaning from creation as well. On the 4th day of what is called Creation Week, God completed the material universe. Everything that we can see, touch, smell, feel, was created by the 4th day. The universe as we know it, the stars, the planets. Completion. Again, there are on our calendar 4 seasons that complete an annual cycle. 4. There are 4 physical elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. There are 4 basic directions on the compass. The number 4, not chosen at random, but spiritually derived. He says that 2 of these women went to stone him. In one quick phrase, he has summed up the mistaken belief in duality. When we put our belief into a power of evil and a power of good, we are committing ourselves to being crushed under the weight of guilt. We are allowing the belief in duality to really mess us up. Now, the science of mind teaches that evil cannot exist in the world of an infinite loving God. God is infinite. We take that as a given. Now we know that God is a loving power. It is an infinite loving power. Where is there now room for evil? God has taken up all the room. God is love. There is no place for a belief in duality. This is where people like us differ from our traditional teachings, the ones that we ran away from earlier on in life for most of us. We ran away when we realized that evil doesn't exist in the law of God. Can't be there. No room for it. Didn't put on an annex and say, go stay there until we need you. Don't come on in and scare people once in a while. We frighten ourselves with our own beliefs. Good and evil. And finally, one. She is a friend of mine. The one power, the one God, the one Word that we now understand is the unity of all of us. The one mind that we are all a part of. The one mind that generates our beliefs in one way. By loving us and giving us exactly what we believe. So the message here is that we are complete and whole in every way. And when we allow ourselves to believe in a mistaken belief of duality, we are going to experience unfortunate and painful times. When we focus on the one, when we bring ourselves into alignment with the God power, as the God power truly exists, when we stop trying to mess with it and understand it, we begin to align and feel the warmth, the love, and the joy of being our true spiritual power. This is where we are reminded, take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand and take it easy. Ernest Holmes writes in the Science of Mind textbook, it is necessary that we release all thoughts as well as things that clutter up our lives. That's from page 232. We need to let go of this stuff that we insist on trying to believe that isn't true. He sings on, well, I'm a-standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Anybody here ever been out west? Well, I'm from the Southwest. I've been in Winslow, Arizona, and I'm here to tell you, I understand this lie. Winslow, Arizona is such a small town that I-40 crossing the desert actually turns and swings out to go around the town rather than trying to cut through it. There's no need to. There is so much land on either side of it that they didn't have to buy a single lot from a single person to build the highway, they just went around the town. Didn't change anything. It is such a dreary place that it actually has slow in its name. Winslow. Winslow's claim to fame before this song, which by the way has made the town, was a 560-foot deep, 3/4 of a mile wide meteor crater blasted into such a desolate part of America that if a similar meteor landed there today, nobody would notice. It wouldn't hurt anything. There's nothing there to be hurt. Metaphysically, deserts are the birthplace of divine inspiration. Some of you may recall an earlier talk where a little Jewish guy named Moses came out of the desert with some tablets and changed history. The desert is where we are when we realize we need to wake up. Deserts represent our minds freed of all human or ego-driven activity, ripe for spiritual intervention or recognition. When we are in the desert, when we are no longer bothered by all of our human stuff, our minds are cleared and we begin to see our truth. Doesn't mean we want to accept it. Our egos are still there. But when we clear everything, we start to wake up. Such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look at me. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. Divine inspiration. Our muse. That spark of an idea, that ray of light in an otherwise dismal sky, is often depicted in literature as a beautiful woman. I believe King Arthur had his lady in the lake. There have been other examples. Samson had his Delilah. That didn't work out so well. But the concept of an attractive woman is often used in literature to represent our muse, something new, something better coming. We may lose or we may win, but we'll never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in, so take it easy. So the muse arrives in this song in that most practical and reliable conveyance, a flatbed Ford truck. Now, if you've ever worked on a farm, a ranch, construction site, you'll see a lot of flatbed Ford trucks. They're always there, they're always reliable, they're always doing the job. So this simply is a metaphysical representation of our muse arriving reliably, able to help us, if we're only willing to climb in. Spiritual awakening is a one-way street. We can deny it, but once enlightened, we can never again be ignorant of our true nature. Thus, we will never be here again. We have seen the light. Our muse has arrived. We climb in. We can never be here again because now we understand something. We have begun to see that our true nature may be different than what we've been believing up until now. We begin to recognize that our fate is in our own hands through our own belief. When we believe that we are strong, when we believe that we are able, we move forward in that reality. When we release, when we lighten our load, when we let go of all the stuff that society has heaped upon us. The parents that said, you're not good enough, your grades aren't straight A's, what's wrong with you? The teachers that echoed that. The other people that just said, why don't you do your job correctly? Don't you understand the procedures? Why are you not living up to my expectations? God doesn't have an expectation of you. God created you exactly as you are, and has given you the power to recognize that as you are is as God is. And if God can do it, we can do it. And the last time I checked, God had a monopoly on just about everything. After all, God is infinite. We are a part of this. Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load, got a world of trouble on my mind, looking for a lover who won't blow my covers. She's so hard to find. Take it easy. Take it easy. Quit trying to define how it's supposed to be. Put our faith, our trust in our divine power. Put our faith and trust into the idea that the power that does it all loves us and can only do for us what we expect of it. Expect the best. You'll get the best. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby. Don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. We gotta take it easy. We gotta take it easy. Put aside our doubts. Put aside the criticisms from people who don't know us, who don't love us, who don't understand us. Know our own power. This is the message. We often drive ourselves silly by overthinking a problem. Ever kept yourself up at night worrying about something? Only to wake up in the morning realizing you lost a night's sleep and haven't solved the problem?
Yeah.
We worry about what might happen with no evidence to suggest anything will happen. We project our mistaken belief into the situation and imagine all manner of disastrous outcomes. I've never kept myself awake imagining how wonderful it's going to be when this is behind me. Holmes writes, the sooner we release our minds from the thought that we have to create, the sooner we shall be able to work in line with Spirit. Spirit creates. The God power is the one that makes stuff happen. Jackson Browne shared the beginning of this song inspired by a breakdown in Winslow with his friend Glen Frey, and the two completed it together. A desperate situation for Jackson Browne, lost and alone in Winslow, Arizona, which was a much smaller town in the late 60s than it is even now, and it's still painfully small. Glen Frey recorded it with a few friends that he knew, playing backup for Linda Ronstadt, and that launched the legendary career of the Eagles. So a desperate situation for one, spiritually connected to another, collaborating with still more, and a legend was born. Lighten your load. Ours is only to plant the seed. God grows the tree.